binding referendums in the next year asking citizens straight up, do you want to break away from Canada?
But that there is an ongoing and growing frustration that we aren't being treated equally.
Infrastructure, every area Ottawa's been accused of mishandling for years.
Quebec just dropped a 51st state bombshell, and it's sending shockwaves across Canada. In a stunning twist, the province is now planning to join its southern neighbors, shaking the very foundation of Canadian unity. This shocking move could change the map forever, and Ottawa is scrambling.
Canada, the Bloc Québécois, a Quebec separatist party committed to achieving independence from Canada, could win the second most seats in the upcoming Canadian election.
Quebec's not whispering anymore. They're done playing nice. This isn't another vague cultural spat or passive-aggressive political dig. It's a full-volume declaration. Premier François Legault didn't drop hints. He dropped a grenade. And the message? We're out. No metaphors, no soft language. Quebec is officially exploring sovereignty, and it's not just theoretical this time. It's legal. It's organized. It's happening.
In provincial politics, the Parti Québécois, another separatist party, is polling well enough to form a majority government in Quebec.
And the heat doesn't stop there. The craziest part. Some folks, serious political voices, not just internet jokers, are talking about Quebec becoming the 51st state. Sounds wild, right? But when a province feels this betrayed, this sidelined, this disrespected, nothing feels too far-fetched. And before anyone could dismiss it as empty noise, Quebec slammed the table and said, "We're doing this." But why now? What pushed them over the edge?
It's not a question that we want to be against Anglophone. It's a question of survival.
The threats to our sovereignty are multiplying.
Let's talk about the Ottawa problem. Because this didn't come out of nowhere. Quebec's been choking on federal decisions for years, and one issue just set it all off. Immigration. Over 400,000 temporary immigrants are currently under Ottawa's control, and Quebec's not having it. Legault isn't politely negotiating behind closed doors. He wants that number cut in half. And he's saying it loud, publicly, repeatedly.
And according to the provincial government, myself and millions of others won't have access to English services under the new language law, Bill 96.
Then there's Bill 96, the language law designed to protect French in Quebec. Whether you support it or not, it matters deeply to Quebecers. So when Carney gave even a whisper of support to a potential Supreme Court challenge against it, it was game over. That wasn't policy. It was personal. To Quebec, it felt like a slap in the face. A direct insult to culture, identity, and pride. Legault fired back with one of the coldest political burns in years. I don't feel the love. He didn't scream. He didn't rage. He just disconnected.
If Mr. Carney was to start an election in the coming minute, let's wait. We're ready.
And the federal neglect doesn't stop there. Aerospace, lumber, fisheries, these are major industries for Quebec. But you wouldn't know it by looking at Ottawa's priorities. Carney didn't even mention them, not once. And to Quebec, that silence said everything. It's like they handed him votes and political power in the last election, and in return, got nothing but shrugs and vague speeches.
Or at least partially so. The party is polling at about 20% in Quebec and could be a game changer in this fall's election.
Now, while all this chaos unfolds, guess who's quietly tossing gasoline on the fire? Alberta. Yeah, the so-called conservative heartland just announced something even bolder, a 2026 referendum on separation. That's not a rumor, that's official.
There was nothing really new about today. And so, in Ottawa, you might be sitting there and be like, well, what is she coming to the table with that's new? This address, as your reporter was just covering, this was to Albertans.
And Alberta's not just talking. Danielle Smith passed laws to make separation easier, lowered petition thresholds, streamlined processes. It's practically a step-by-step guide to walk away from Canada. Quebec looked at that and didn't flinch. In fact, Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon gave Smith a standing ovation. That's not just agreement, that's admiration.
It's becoming more dangerous and divided.
Now Quebec's grabbing Alberta's playbook and flipping straight to the exit strategy chapter. This isn't some spontaneous protest movement fueled by emotion. This is coordinated political action. One province leading the charge, another following right behind. And while Ottawa's still trying to write another weak press release, Quebec and Alberta are out here organizing legal committees and hosting town halls.
Yeah, so she's calling for guaranteed access to tidewater for Alberta's oil, gas, and critical minerals. She also wants Ottawa to end what she calls federal interference in the development of provincial resources. So
let that sink in. Town halls, legal paperwork, provincial-wide exploration teams. This is no longer a theory, it's a checklist.
You know, we voted for change and that's not the outcome of the election, and we get that. However, that's how democracy works.
And the worst part for Ottawa? This alliance wasn't planned, it was provoked. Carney, in trying to hold the country together, might have accidentally become the unifying enemy. Two completely different provinces, different cultures, different languages, are now walking side by side toward the same goal: independence. Canada's not just facing division, it's facing a coordinated exodus. And that's the part nobody saw coming.
We're talking the most serious challenge to Canadian unity.
Let's be real. This isn't just a tantrum anymore. Quebec isn't stomping its feet. What we're watching is the rise of a new separation bloc, and it's not just dramatic. It's strategic, legal, and honestly kind of terrifying if you're sitting in Ottawa right now.
Which resulted in a Quebec independence referendum being held. Although the referendum was defeated, it was by an incredibly narrow margin.
François Legault? Oh, he's not playing games. He just launched a constitutional exploration committee, which is government speak for. Let's figure out how to legally yeet ourselves out of Confederation. That's right. No more Twitter rants. No more passive-aggressive pressers. Quebec is actually studying the Constitution like a student cramming for finals, with the end goal being independence.
Ottawa may indeed be losing the West for good.
And he's not doing this behind closed doors either. Legault is out there hosting town halls across Quebec. Yes, actual in-person events where citizens show up, ask questions, and hear how their province might one day stand alone. These aren't for optics. These are for building support. The kind of support that turns angry voters into referendum-ready citizens.
In really correcting some of the regulatory space that we have in this nation when it comes to the development of our...
This is no longer, we're mad at Ottawa. This is, let's draft the exit paperwork and book the moving truck. It's structured. It's backed by policy teams. It's got timelines. And it's not just Quebec anymore. Alberta's in the passenger seat, snacks in hand, singing along to the breakup anthem.
It's weighing heavily on Quebecers the same way that it's weighing on Canadians, and it makes it harder to talk about Quebec sovereignty.
And that's the scary part. They're serious. This isn't meme-fueled chaos anymore. It's quiet meetings, legal documents, and poll numbers. It's what happens when frustration turns into formation. And the Canadian government? They're still fumbling press releases while these provinces are building roadmaps.
Canada, the Bloc Québécois, a Quebec separatist party committed to achieving independence from Canada, could win the second most seats in the upcoming Canadian election.
Now let's talk about the guy whose name keeps getting roasted in all this. Mark Carney. The Prime Minister, who was supposed to bring the country together, is now the reason half of it wants out. He just stumbled into a federal win with a whopping 43% national approval. And no, that's not a mandate. That's a pity trophy. It's not Canada loves you, it's you barely got through the finish line and tripped over your own shoelaces doing it.
A quarter of all Canadians live here, which is why Quebec has 78 of the 338 seats in the House of Commons.
And in Quebec, his popularity isn't just dipping, it's straight up face planting. People are out here wondering if he's even awake back there, or if someone needs to shake his desk and hand him a coffee.
And now we're finding out that none of that matters because Canada is 1/10 of the size of the economy of America, if not even smaller.
Let's not forget, Quebec delivered him more seats than in 2021. They showed up. They voted. They gave him power on a silver platter. And what did they get in return? Nothing. No major policy changes. No funding boosts. Not even a thank you bouquet. One Quebec official summed it up perfectly. We delivered the pizza, and Carney tipped us in exposure.
Writing a very different deal between themselves, but that would have to serve the best interests of both nations and countries.
That's not just cold, it's infuriating. And it's one of the many reasons people in these provinces are done hoping and starting to plan. Now, here's the part that really flips the table. This isn't the first time Canada's had separation talk. Quebec's been here before. Alberta's flirted with the idea. But this time, it's different.
And we might sit at the table as two equal people and nations.
Because this time, it's coordinated. It's not random noise, it's legislation. Alberta passed a real law lowering the threshold for referendums. That's not a debate, it's a loaded weapon sitting on the table. Quebec's committee, not symbolic, it's the legal equivalent of drawing the blueprint to the exit door. So, no, this isn't a protest, it's not noise, it's not some spicy headline for social media. It's the real thing. The mood has changed, the playbook has changed, the gloves are off. And while Ottawa keeps stalling, Quebec is already halfway out the door.
But they're still willing to call our bluff, and Canada still thinks that we have a leg to stand on. And it's just getting weird right now. And so what's the...
At this point, Quebec and Alberta might as well be co-hosting a political exit party. Balloons, banners, and the theme: national fragmentation. And guess what? Ottawa's not even trying to stop it anymore. If anything, they're standing in the corner, sipping lukewarm coffee, pretending nothing's happening, while the provinces are out here drafting actual blueprints for the breakup.
I believe that our main partner is and will remain Canada. But we might make our own choices.
And the rest of Canada? Oh, they're watching nervously like someone caught in the middle of a family fight at dinner. Saskatchewan's eyeing the door too, low-key sliding into the conversation like, so, are we doing this? Let's be honest, this isn't about if someone leaves Canada anymore. That question expired. Now it's about who goes first and who holds the door open for the next one. So hit that subscribe button if you want front row seats to the wildest political breakup Canada has seen in decades. Meme wars, constitutional chaos, viral town halls. We're covering all of it. And seriously, do you think Quebec will actually go through with it? And if they do, who's next? Like this video, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to get more updates on chaos inside Canada.